Welcome back, trainers, and with the public release of Mewtwo coming very soon, there's a lot of questions that are being raised, especially with the latest tweet talking about Shadow Ball and Hyper Beam becoming legacy moves. So we have a comment coming up here in just a second, has a few concerns about what he should do and investment-wise. So let's go ahead and go over that. So I went over this before. What should you have Focus Blast Mewtwo for? Solely. That's going to be to take the Pokemon out in gyms because you have normal types. And then you have Tyranitar as well, which Focus Blast is going to be great against. And then he has a concern about, the Shadow Ball is going to be good, but not so good against those normal types going up against the gym. Absolutely. And then we have Giratina coming in Gen 4, which is going to be super effective against that. We'll discuss that as well. And then he just wonders which one should he power up, max out, which moves should I have. And he has 3 maxed out Mewtwo's and then 22 other ones. And then think about Mega Evolutions, 1 Psychic, 1 Fighting. Oh, absolutely. I know all about that. And we'll talk about that as well. So the Mega Evolutions, I have a few theories as to how it's going to work. And we'll cover that briefly because, yeah, the time isn't quite here unless they try to do an Alolan release deal where they just have the Mega Evolutions come out one day before the gen they were actually released in. So I went ahead and went to Darko and switched his Shadow Ball into Focus Blast so we can give this a shot. Compare the IVs to a Machamp, because what is the benefit of using a Mewtwo up against a gym? One benefit is it's Psychic type, and a lot of those gym defenders like Slacking, Blissey, Chansey, and Snorlax, they all have Psychic moves, right? Or Fairy, which is going to be super effective to Machamp. On the other hand, Mewtwo is resisting the Psychic moves, not the Fairy ones. It's just going to be neutral damage though, so that is a plus. It's going to help you get through that gym without using as much potions possibly. So it does have 1 charge bar move, and I've always said this, like, you're not going to really use Mewtwo for anything else with Focus Blast other than going up against a gym. Sure, you might throw it into a raid here and there, but otherwise you're going to want to just stick to the actual fighting types, specifically Machamp for sure. But is this outperforming Machamp when you go up against a gym? No, not quite. It's doing more damage, but it's not going to be able to take those Pokemon out as quick. It's doing massive damage, as you can see there. Chansey and Blissey being the best gym defenders. You can say, well, maybe Snorlax over Chansey because it's doing more damage, possibly. But yeah, that's true. But for the sake of it, I was lucky enough to go and find 2 gyms with a Chansey and a Blissey side by side. So whoever that was, thank you very much. And let's continue on here. So you're definitely going to want to have a Shadow Ball Mewtwo. Okay, make sure you have at least 1. And for the specific commenter who left this, he had 3 maxed out and 20 other ones. I say you don't really have too much to worry about other than your invested ones. So if you're working off your 3, let's just say you have those. You want to Focus Blast one, seeing that you like to go up against the gyms using your Mewtwo, correct? Cool. And then you're going to want a Shadow Ball one, so you could have this legacy, right? And for your 3rd one, I say that's going to be all up to you. You do have 22 or 20 other ones, right? If you're not looking to invest anymore, but I would take a guess you're going to go out there and do some raids while they're out in the public and then still receive your EX passes. So you're going to have some candies and Stardust to power them up. So for your 3rd one, I would go personally Shadow Ball because it's going to become legacy. Focus Blast isn't going anywhere, and Psychic, you're still going to be able to get those. They're going to also introduce a new move possibly, because if they do have this Mewtwo Day with just 2 moves, sure, that's just going to be like a candy grab for sure. We're just going to have to get as many as we can so we can get an EX pass to get the new move if they release it that way. But they're probably going to make it come out with another move, all right? And as far as should you invest in any other Mewtwo's like a Psychic one, I say hold off, okay, guys? Until they announce the new move, and rumor has it that Psy Strike has been found in the game files, 2 bars for 100. Sounds a little OP. Don't hold me to that. Just seen a few comments out there, so we'll just have to wait and look forward to that, hopefully. But nonetheless, it's going to be stronger, so just wait until Mewtwo month happens. And if you just can't hold off, I mean, go ahead and power one up. I mean, if you have them at the moment, then yes, you know, depending on what you're trying to do, go ahead and max them out or switch the move to Shadow Ball. If you don't have any Mewtwo currently and you're waiting for the Mewtwo Day, hold off completely. If you know you have no EX raids in your area and this is your only opportunity, then go ahead and power up with the best one you find, okay? But for the people that currently have them, and are wondering should they invest in more, I say completely wait, hold off, because that Psy Strike move or the new move they're going to add is going to be valuable. You're going to want that. Psychic is going to be irrelevant if this is what it is coming up. So there you have that answer right there. Don't go and power up in Mewtwo's for the intent of Psychic, because watch, they release a new move, and here we go again with the switching of the legendary moves, and you're not going to be able to TM it. And that investment in a Mewtwo is no joke, right? Up next is Giratina. Let's discuss this. So we're more than likely going to see the form to the left. Yeah, can guarantee you that. We'll probably see the other form sometime, but who knows. So this is going to be in Gen 4, possibly when it is released. We're going to see the legendary race, because that's what happened with Gen 3, right? Maybe they're going to keep that up, because as soon as Gen 3 came out, we saw Groudon, right? And then Kyogre after that, which was very nice. Really appreciate that. Hopefully they'll do that again with Gen 4, and we'll see Palkia, Dalgia, and Giratina. Who knows? We'll just wait and see. So let's go over its stats to see what we have going for this thing. Right, so we are over here on the Go Hub, and there is Giratina's stats. So I know this is not a video about it, but it's in relations to the question there. So there are the stats: max EP 3,965, attack 206, defense 247, and stamina 300. Oh, wow. All right, so let's go down here. Weaknesses: 2, Dark, Dragon, Fairy, Ghost, and Ice. Right. Resisting, Fighting, Normal, Bug, Electric, Fire, Grass, Poison, and Water. Talk about a amazing gym defender if we can drop legendaries. And so Dark. Okay, you have Tyranitar. Should be safe all around. We'll see what moves it's going to receive, but as far as I know, Dragon and then Ghost moves, unless they pop a fighting move on it, which I don't think it does, that can learn any. Tyranitar is going to be one of your best options, okay? As well as Absol too. Absol is a bit of a glass cannon, but the damage output is massive. Houndour as well fall in the Dark category. And then we have dragons. You're going to want Rayquaza, Dragonite, possibly Latios, Latios, if that's your style. Personally, not for me, and not for short manning it. Say a trio, you're not going to want to use those. Maybe if you're doing like a 16 unique team or something like that, then you may want to do that. But otherwise, you're going to stick to Dragonite and Rayquaza. Now for Fairy, you have Gardevoir, and that's going to work nice as well. Now the Ghost, you have Gengar with any quick move, and then Shadow Ball. That's what you're going to want to use. And now let's discuss the main question out of all of it. Yes, Mewtwo is going to be a great counter to go up against it with Shadow Ball, okay? So you're going to want possibly Psycho Cut. People like to use that because it charges up your charge bar quicker, but I am a confusion man. I like to use that. I know it's slow and harder to dodge, but I've kind of worked around the whole dodging deal. Plus, when you're going up against a raid boss, dodging is almost pointless nowadays because it's so, so Mewtwo is going to be great, and that is another reason why I want a bunch. Gengar is a great option. It's just going to be fainting fairly quick. So maybe I can use like a full team of Gengars and then maybe go in with a team of Mewtwo afterwards with Shadow Ball, so it's not like a waste, because I keep pondering this. Wow, I powered up all of these Mewtwo's, and now I have to switch it over to the Shadow Ball. But what is the point? Because I have all these Gengars. So what is it doing, for me? But then I'm thinking, well, maybe I can just hop in with another team. I'm just trying to justify powering up all these Mewtwo, and now I have to switch into Shadow Ball. It's not bad, but man, that's a lot of Ghost offense, right? And now on to the Mega Evolutions for Mewtwo. Now, we could see these coming in several months, or we could see them several years. We'll just have to wait for Niantic to do what they do, right? So, let's talk about this. We have Mega Mewtwo X and then Mega Mewtwo Y, one being Psychic and one being Fighting. Let's focus on the Fighting one, seeing that there was concern about Focus Blast. So let's see what else possible fighting moves it can learn. So we have Aura Sphere, which should be fairly good. It's not as strong as Focus Blast, but potentially better with multiple bars. All right, now let's see what else we have for TM moves. We have Brick Break and Low Sweep. Okay, yeah, right. So we know Brick Break is not going to be great. Low Sweep, definitely not good in Pokemon Go. All right, now if you're wondering, what do you mean TM moves? In the main series games, some Pokemon can only learn moves if you give them a TM. TMs work differently in Pokemon Go, a lot differently. So we're not going to go over that. So there you go. Not too there, not too great. And then for its move tutor moves, we have Drain Punch and Focus Punch, which have the potential to do good, and the low kick is down there as well. So yeah, we have a lot of fighting moves for them. And how do I think they're going to actually work when they're introduced? When they Mega Evolve, I personally think they're just going to keep the moves that they previously had, and it's going to be for a limited time. So there you go on that subject. Alright, so now that we went over all that, if you're still confused, let me break it down for you. If you have multiple Mewtwo, at the moment, this is only going to be retaining to you, okay? And you're wondering, well, should I power up another Mewtwo? I want a offensive Focus Blast or Shadow Ball. You know, it's not so much about the power up right now, okay? Think about the moves, okay? You're going to want Shadow Ball, period. All right? If you have multiple Mewtwo and you can spare it in the TMs, go for 1, 2, or 3, depending on how many you have. All right? So specifically for that one comment he left, he has 3 powered up ones. Let's just go off of those. Well, yes, if you like to attack gyms with Mewtwo's, Focus Blast is going to be an option for you. It's great. It's a good idea. When you go up against those gyms, you're not taking super effective damage. Matter of fact, reduce damage and neutral through fairy moves with those most hardcore gym defenders. As far as investing in a Mewtwo with Psychic, like I just said, it's not so much about the investment, it's the moves. But if we must insist on that, I'd say do not power up any Mewtwo's for Psychic. You're going to want to wait. It's going to receive a better move. I can guarantee you that. There's a reason why they're making Legacy for Shadow Ball and Hyper Beam. Because they're not going to just drop it publicly with 2 moves. If they do, then I'll be surprised. But I don't think they're going to actually do that. It's kind of like a slap in the face. Here's Mewtwo, but you only get Psychic and Focus Blast. I mean, good moves, great moves, but still, you would want a Shadow Ball. And I see they might be trying to make that Shadow Ball a little bit more unique for the people who went out there and got those raids. I think that's what's going on here. So yeah, there you go. And as far as the Giratina, yeah, it's going to be a great counter. It's going to be other counters. Mewtwo is always a good counter for legendaries, though. It's right against the Reggies. You can use that with Focus Blast. Against Mewtwo, you could use Mewtwo with Shadow Ball. Against Alakazam, Shadow Ball. Well, if you want to talk legendaries. Usually it's just Shadow Ball, and Confusion or Psycho Cut is what's going to get the job done for a lot of those. So Giratina, going up against it, Mewtwo is going to be an A+. As you've seen, it had quite a few ghost moves, not too much dragon moves. Dragon Claws could be a real pain in the butt on Giratina, seeing that it has so much defense, and that move continuously happens with 3 charge bars. So you got to think about that. Something more tanky, which Mewtwo is indeed able to take those hits. All right. And there you go. I hope that clears it up. And as far as Megas go, I mean, there's only speculation at this point. So having a Focus Blast one for the potential of having the Mega Fighting type Mewtwo and it keeping its moves while it evolves into that Mega form, you're going to benefit. You're going to have that Fighting type with Psychic, Confusion, whatever moves you have on there. And then you're going to just get a stab, in fact, with that Focus Blast. So yes, that'd be a great idea. Yeah, and there you go, guys. All right, I can make this video long and long and long, keep going on and on. So trying to not talk your ear off here. So there you go. Hope that cleared up the air. And with that said, trainers, thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.